Hey, it's Jesse Tyler Ferguson. I am in rainy New York City. Actually, this is the building I used to go to school in, the Ansonia building. It's where Amda used to be housed. Today on the show, you know her from iconic performances in Waitress, Hairspray, Wicked. She's currently on Broadway in the new Broadway production of The Lost Boys. It's my very good friend, I'm so excited about this one, Shoshana Bean.
I'm like, you can't let this woman not take her final bow after X. I don't know why I'm getting emotional about it, but like, you lived for that last weekend. I feel like she was robbed of that.
This is Dinner's on Me, and I'm your host, Jesse Tyler Ferguson. So today we're at Miriam on New York's Upper West Side. I chose this place because they are known for their Mediterranean breakfasts. Think shashukas, bourekas. It's super cozy. I love this place. It's been around in New York for about 20 years now. It's named after the chef's mother, Miriam, who instilled him with this belief that, you know, hard work pays off and everyone should be treated with kindness. And it certainly shows in this warm environment that they've created here. Like I said, it's been a staple for 20 years in New York City, and Shoshana's been a staple on Broadway in New York for 20 years. So I thought this would be a perfect place to catch up with my old friend. All right, she should be getting here soon. Let's get to the conversation.
When am I gonna get to see your show?
You can come see True.
In someone's house, apparently.
Yeah, it's done in a Vanderbilt mansion. And so I was like, we need a spot where it can look like somewhere where Truman Capote would live, but we don't have to spend like money on a crazy set. So I was like, we're in New York, let's find like a place that exists that's just like rich with history. You walk in, you're like, oh my God, where am I? And then we can add like couches and some like, you know, paintings and stuff to make it look like his apartment. So we found this old Vanderbilt mansion on 95th and Park Avenue. It's now a place of worship, but they have this library that they literally... So this is what rich people did back in like the turn of the century. They'd like go to Italy, Umbria, and be like, I like this library.
Sure.
I would like it shipped to my house. So they'd cut the library out of this building and put it on a boat.
As is.
Not put it on a boat in pieces.
Recreate.
No.
Not inspired
Cut it out.
by.
No, not inspired by. Cut it out of the building. Ship it across the ocean.
We are so gross. Americans are so gross.
We don't do this anymore.
We just steal this from Italy.
Well, do we still do this? I don't know.
100%. We do other horrible
Yeah. We do worse things, yeah. Statues. We'll take that statue, please. Thank you.
So that is from...
So the library I'm in is a 16th century library from Umbria. Wow. But so that's where I'm performing, in this library. Mm-hmm. That the Vanderbilts were like, we'll take one of those, please. And the house itself is this old Vanderbilt house. So it's gorgeous. Like, from the minute you walk in, you're like, where am I?
But it's a church?
Now it's a place of worship. So they have like little chapels. But they use it for like events and weddings and concerts. There's a lot of concerts that are... I have some friends whose kids have like their violin concerts at this place. But the funny thing is, because it still is still operating as an event space, we are sort of like, there are moments where I feel like I'm doing the classiest New York thing, and then there are other moments where I feel like I'm doing a high school play.
You're doing Godspell off Broadway.
I'm doing Godspell off Broadway. Yeah. Because like we're like literally taking the set out so that they can like have a bar mitzvah the next day.
Yes.
And so my schedule. So that's all to say, my schedule is all over the map, and I do have like random Thursday matinees, which maybe you can come to one of those. I will say, because it's mostly just me. Charlotte Dambois has a tiny little part. It's one of my swans, but I have 99.9% of the dialogue. And I have been having, and actually I want to ask you about this, because I have been experiencing, and I don't know if it's like, I feel like it's getting worse as I'm getting older, but like anxiety around expectations of me, specifically when I put myself out there and like things that are risky. I've had the wildest anxiety dreams. The other day, okay, and I think part of it's because I just watched that Top Model documentary. Have you watched this?
No, God, no.
It's fascinating.
Okay. Like, even if you were never a Top Model fan, like, is it so fascinating?
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty fascinating. It's just like a moment in like pop culture, like, wow, that was a thing that happened. So that was like, I had just watched it. And then I'm in rehearsal for the show, and I have this insane nightmare that I have been cast as a judge on the reboot of Top Model. And I said yes before thinking about it, and then they wouldn't let me quit. And then I got canceled. Like, the whole world canceled me.
The whole world
canceled me. Like, everyone was, and they're like, his career's over. His career's done.
And it was like, it felt
and
real.
I woke up and for like a
real.
whole day,
Yeah.
I was like,
it's coming.
having a panic attack about it because of this fake thing that happened in my head about me being a judge on Top Model. But it was all like tied into like me having anxiety about doing this thing on stage.
I love this I love this. Not that you're having anxiety and not that you felt for a whole day that you might be canceled. But I love that at your level of success, at this stage in your career, that there are still things that terrify you.
Yeah.
I get it because I do understand, again, not to the extent that you experience it, and certainly my success doesn't compare to yours, but I do find at this stage of life that there is a weird feeling of an expectation that follows. Once you've had many, many years and have created many, many things, I do feel like whether it's a phantom expectation or a real expectation.
That history
when
creates
people
expectation.
Say your name, then you feel like, well, I gotta at least deliver as much, if not better, than the last thing I did. When we first got here, in almost the same year, when we first arrived here, we had nothing to lose, only things to prove, right? So like, there's this like fearlessness and fire that I now find that I'm like, I've a lot to lose, and like, do I have a lot, still something to prove, right? Because I'm like,
when you create a career, it's like, then you sort of have to like, you have to maintain the fortress that you created and like keep the buttresses up.
But my point is, you could very easily play it safe.
Yes.
And maintain, what people expect of you. And I love that you took a big swing and took a big risk. It's big enough to make you feel anxious and scared. I love that. And may you always.
I know. I do feel like if I'm not feeling nervous about something, then it's probably not the right thing to be doing, or it's safe.
You got to be uncomfy.
No, I agree. I agree with that.
I'm so hyped about this. And
I'm really
welcome
proud of
home.
it.
I love when you're here.
I love being here. I mean, we did come to New York around the same time, right? I got here in '94. You got here a little after me, right?
99.
99, yeah.
Hi, Calvin.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to us.
Glad to have you. It's your first time here?
I've been to the one downtown. Have you been here before?
No.
Okay.
We've been waiting for you.
Jerusalem breakfast.
There she
Very
is.
nice, very nice. With a little avocado spread, tomato.
You have bourekas?
Very good, spinach and ricotta filled.
Oh, well, I don't have a choice then. I have to have bourekas.
That's what I was thinking about getting too.
It's. I bet it's like. Well, we'll see how you do
It's
it.
really, really nice. Some hard-boiled eggs on the side.
I'm a bodega snob, so you guys.
I'm sure we'll.
All right, I mean.
Should I get something different? I'll do the Turkish eggs since you're getting bourekas. I'm gonna have
You
a body
can
of
share.
bourekas.
You can share.
I'll do the turkey.
You okay?
Thanks,
Thank you.
Calvin.
And
Water, maybe?
Yes.
yes, water.
Thank you.
Sparkling
Small
still.
Still tap.
Still.
I'm.
I'll have some more coffee. Do you want more coffee?
All right,
Probably.
I got you. Another cappuccino?
Thank you. Or just a shot. I can pour it in.
I got you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I feel like where we really connected in New York, aside from like probably doing benefits and
Right.
stuff like that, because we never worked together.
No.
But you were at Circle in the Square in Spelling Bee, and I was at the Gershwin in
Doing
Wicked,
Wicked,
and
yeah.
so we were across the driveway essentially from each other.
That's right.
Which, even if we didn't see each other or hang, it
Yeah, we
felt
were
like
in the same building.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, you were always just someone that I mean, we grew up together basically here. I mean, we came at the same time. I'm confused because I always assumed like you were, like you wanted to you had the desire for a music career more than musical theater.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
100% correct.
But you went to school in Cincinnati for musical theater.
Yeah, at the time, we didn't have reality competition shows. We didn't have like direct line of communication via social media to label head. We didn't have the kind of information. And I couldn't, my parents were like, college is a non-negotiable.
Well, your dad was very, first of all, I love your father. He's so cute.
He'll be so happy to hear that.
He's so
He's a
adorable.
little bit famous.
Yeah, he is. He kind of is. Yeah. Did he enjoy like soul music and R&B? Like,
Yes, music. My dad is like, I think that if he had sort of been of a generation that was encouraged to find and foster their passions and their skills, he probably would have been in music somehow. Yeah, their fingerprints of all my parents and their sounds are all over me.
Knowing
so I was lucky.
What your career is now and like what how I could tell how that's influenced your voice and like your songwriting
And
music.
that was what was sort of my superpower when I got to college. Because I thought, oh, well, I belt and I sing legit. Well, I'm with Christy Cates and Leslie Kritzer and like all these monsters. So I'm like, ugh. Well, I know that I have this sort of like love of soul and R&B. Like maybe that's going to be the thing. It really was for me always like, how do I set myself apart? How do I be different than all of these incredible women? And that was always sort of, so I think that it was in college that I was like, I'm going to lean into this. And of course it got me in trouble all the time. What really got me in trouble was never an intention to be irreverent or like disobey the rules. It literally comes out of me as a different moment as an actor would come out of you.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? You're
it's grounded in
reacting
something.
to what's happening in the moment, what's coming out of you, what your co-stars, what the people around you are giving you. And so for me it comes out that way in music. So it was as hard to maintain the black dots on the page, you know, what was written in the ink, as it is to not, you know, take a different take on a line.
What were you doing in that time? Were you going to open calls?
I sang backup for Alice Ripley during that time.
Okay, so not
I
a
sang
touch
backup
backup.
for Michael Jackson during that time.
Wait, you sang backup for Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Wait. No, we're not moving on from that.
I'm sorry, leader of the pack. We should...
Wait, what? I didn't know this.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
That would have been 2001 for his 30th anniversary concert at Madison Square Garden. So we rehearsed for like 2-3 weeks at Chelsea Piers.
Yes.
2-night event. The J5 came back together. That's the Jackson 5 for youngsters. Whitney, Ray Charles,
oh my
Luther,
God.
Usher, Britney, NSYNC, Destiny's Child, Gladys Knight, Jill Scott. But it's funny because I've since become friends with Usher, and I was like, bro, I have our rehearsal tapes from that day up in like a little, like now if you go do an event at Chelsea Piers, they'll put you in like a little room.
Yes.
As your dressing room.
Uh-huh.
And it was me, Luther, Usher, the rest of the backup singers, and a pianist, like rehearsing up in those little rooms. And I recorded everything, and I was like, sent it to him. I'm
Wait,
like,
Usher and Luther were
they
doing
sang
backup?
a duet. They sang
Okay.
Man in the Mirror together.
Got it.
But so this happened, it was a 2-night event. It was televised. So like I think you can see it on like YouTube or something. But there was the first night, which was like fucking levitating.
I imagine.
And then the second night was September 10th, 2001.
No.
And I remember leaving Madison Square Garden and seeing Usher drive away in a limo, out those stretch limos that we used to use, out the roof, like just like it was just like it was the greatest night that anyone had ever experienced.
Oh my God,
and I
the world
went
was
home and
so
went to bed
different.
because I had to get up the next morning to go to my office job. And my alarm went off, and it was like, stay in your homes. They're advising you don't get on the train. And
Where were you
got
living at that time?
in Astoria.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
my
was in
roommate was
Brooklyn.
Clacy Miller, now Clacy Jude. And I was like, what is going on? And she's like, I don't know, but your parents called a couple times to see if you were okay. And I was like, did you turn on the news? Do you think we should turn on the news? And like, we could see it from our apartment. We had a really great view of the city, and
Yeah, same.
we could see it. And that was like one of those weird moments in life where you're like,
Everything changed.
how do you go from like the highest high of your whole life
my
to the
God.
and it took
That's wild.
how many, like 24 hours to 2 days for it to settle in what actually had just happened. Like nothing it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
We'd never seen anything like that. Thank you.
It was incredible.
Oh my God,
know,
my
what's-
mom
what's
is
this
gonna just
situation?
be-
Some pita,
Okay.
you know.
extra love.
Oh my God.
And then we have the chopped salad here.
Okay.
This is also
Okay, yep,
our
got that.
Jerusalem breadstick. Can I take anything out of our bread? Are we
Take-
finished with the coffees?
No.
Of course not. Sorry, yep, I want to keep my hands.
I'll put this
We
here.
are lit though, Calvin. Like,
No,
why
yeah,
am I
we're
shaking?
literally vibrating
What did you?
right now.
Is it
It's a
Turkish?
good time. We're having a good time.
Where is this
What did
coffee
you put in
from?
this coffee?
Aficionado.
It's really strong.
Yeah.
Very good stuff.
We like
And I
it.
feel like I have a good. Hi, everybody. Are you guys in charge?
Well, this is Chef.
Ah, chef. Well, what's your name? Shoshana. So nice to
Here, come over
meet you.
here.
My mom is going to be thrilled I'm meeting a
So
bodega.
Chef's Miriam is Chef's mom.
Oh,
Which is-
no
which
way.
his
Is
name.
this all inspired by her?
Of course.
Aw.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Thank you
It's a
so
pleasure.
Thank you so much
Enjoy
for happy to be
yourselves.
here.
Thank you,
Thank you so
love.
much.
This looks incredible.
Thank you. Do you want some bodega?
I want to try it, yeah. How is it?
It's amazing.
Delicious.
Yeah, and I'm a snob about it too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So, I know you've talked about this ad nauseum, but we're going to talk about it.
Let me guess.
What is it? Guess.
Wicked.
Of course. Mm-hmm. So we had Idina on the show too. I mean,
who? Teasing. My fucking legend.
I know. But I mean, you were in a very interesting position because, first of all, that show, as you know, like in hindsight, it's the biggest thing that's happened on Broadway since. And you were there at really the very beginning, and it was Idina and Kristen's show, and you know, it was this phenomenon. And then you were the first person to come in. You and Jennifer Laura Thompson were the first two people to come in and sort of take these roles and make them your own thing, and like sort of start that legacy of people being able to create other versions of these characters. And the way that, you know, you started the show was insane. And, you know, Idina, on the episode that she did with us, I made her, even though she's also talked about it ad nauseum, you were going to take over the role in a few days, and you had been covering her for a few months. Had you gone on before for her? Okay.
Many times.
And so everyone is there, like everyone had come in to see her last weekend of shows. And I love this. I love torturing you. And 6 minutes before one of her final performances, she is rushed to the hospital. And you're backstage. They're quickly putting you in green paint. And No,
we were upstairs. The Gershwin is a huge theater, and they have their own rehearsal space. So we were upstairs, me and Megan, because Megan was a standby with me at the time.
Megan Hilty.
And we're with the stage manager, and we're just stepping through, reviewing things, because I'm going to take over on Tuesday. And again, I'd been on a million times, but like, you know, we're just...
Yeah, you're about to take over for reals.
Keeping the wheels greased. And they came up to get Kristen, and they were like, you got to come, something happened. So we're like, okay, so we all run down. And then it took them, like, obviously they didn't know what had happened to her. They didn't want to move her. They had to wait for the ambulance to come. And all the while, they're just holding the show. I think they held for like 45 minutes. I could be wrong, but I think it was like... And in my mind, I'm like, there's 3 minutes left of the show. Obviously, they're going to just let people go home.
Right.
And so we held and we held. And nowhere in my mind am I like, I got to go get ready and go on. And sure enough, at one point, they're like, we're finishing the show, go. And they got me ready in 7 minutes. They just slapped the paint on, slapped the wing on. Like, and I popped up and I go on for the last Fiero that pop up. Fiero, there you are, because I knew you. And take the bow, which felt ludicrous. And the whole cast is like hysterical.
They don't know what...
They don't know what's happened. And they
watched it
saw it happen. So
what was the audience like?
I don't think they didn't know it.
Do you remember this night?
Yeah, distinctly.
Okay.
They had no idea what happened.
So they just knew that Idina...
No, they had no idea.
They didn't know how to...
No, they didn't see her fall. She's behind the curtain.
Did they think that you were her?
No, because they have to make an announcement and say, for the remainder of this performance, the role of...
For the remainder of 90 seconds.
3 minutes. But I think they deduced that they would have had to give these people's money back or something, even though it was like more than 75% of the show was done. But yeah, and I remember going to hang with the crew guys in between, being like, she'll be back. It's Idina.
Oh, you mean in between shows?
Yeah, this was a matinee. Before the Saturday night show. And I remember going to John Riggins' office where they were playing poker and sitting down with the guys, and like, I'm like, you guys, whatever, she's gonna be back. It's Idina. First of all, she's a tank. Like, she doesn't miss shows. And second of all, it's her last weekend. People flew in from all over we all knew this. Yeah. She's not gonna miss. And they're like, kiddo, you might as well consider tonight like your takeover. And I was like, and it also felt horrible.
Yeah, like you're taking something away from someone else.
And also, I was like, this audience is just gonna hate me. And it was the complete opposite.
Yeah. From how I remember it, became news very quickly because it was, you know, the show was so big, and her leaving was such...
Nothing had ever happened like that.
No, and her leaving was such a big deal, and the fact that it was cut so short and so kind of, and it's such an insane way. I just feel, and this is what I love about Broadway, the theater community comes together in ways that like you never expect it to. And there's such generosity of spirit. And so it doesn't surprise me when you say that, like, you were met with nothing but love.
But that wasn't the theater community. That was fans of the show and Idina who came from, people who were like, what the fuck? Who is this? Who just, like, took the ride. And were like...
Yeah. It's wild. And then on her final show, when this is what I'm really made her talk about, because I was like, what I mean,
I think she was lit on pain
she
pills.
was lit on pain pills. She
and
doesn't
she looked
remember
so
it at
cute.
all.
And she was such a
But
thug.
she basically, in the last 3 minutes of the show on that Sunday, that was supposed to be her last performance.
From the moment she had fallen.
She walks out in a red tracksuit, and you, who had been now playing the role for a performance in 7/8, step aside and let her finish the show.
Absolutely.
And I mean, what was that like?
Oh.
Like, what did it feel like to have her walk on stage and feel that wave of love for her?
It was the best possible thing they could do, because I'm like, you can't let this woman not take her final bow after I don't know why I'm getting emotional about it, but like putting everything you put into something to originate it and like take that ride and you live for that last weekend for like a release and to let people just like give you your flowers. And I feel like she was robbed of that, but I feel like it all, for her to be able to walk on and have that last moment, and it was such a great honor. It felt, and so it was a thrill to be able to be like, please. And then it felt weird to back. I remember being like, someone made me a book of all the pictures of that last day. And you can see me just like, I don't want to take the bow.
Sure.
And like, even though I had done the show, it's like this weekend is supposed to be about her.
Yeah.
And I just remember feeling like, don't make this in any way about me. I like wanted her to have me.
That show also, I remember like when I first heard the music, I was like, oh my God, like she's singing. I mean, she's really singing. And, when you were talking about like Stephen Remus, the musical director, like, wanting you to stick to the notes on the page, like, and fighting against that. And
well, to be fair, there were certain moments where he's like, we'll grant you, I'll raise you this if you, like we negotiate.
Okay, got it.
And there was one infamous time where my levitator didn't go up. And there was a protocol for that you unhook and you walk straight down to the lip of the stage and you just deliver the song. And everyone else will sort of like lay flat on the ground.
Because they're supposed to be below you.
You're supposed to be flying.
Yeah.
So he happened to be in the house that day, and I unhooked and I marched down stage and I just ripped the shit out of the end of Defying Gravity. And he came right into my dressing room afterwards and he was like, yes, great, right thing to do, never again. And I was like, absolutely, you got to give me a free pass.
Not levitating.
You have to give me a free pass. He was like, yes, never again. And I was like,
That must have felt so good.
I mean,
Were
I
people
just
going
panicked.
crazy?
I don't remember.
I love that, like, in a moment of panic, like,
just riff.
you just riff. Like, I wish I had that superpower.
It was also like anger. Like, it was also like, it's the one moment people come for, and I couldn't give it to them.
Well, it's not the one moment, but yes, it is a moment.
It's one of the moments.
Oh my God. And shortly after that, that's when you moved to LA, right?
Yeah, right after that.
And how did that, where did that decision come from?
I just think that after Wicked, where do you go? What do you do after that?
That's what I say every time I see Wicked.
After Wicked,
now what?
Now what?
Now what?
And also, like, it was like a huge dream come true. And sometimes when you have a dream come true, you're like, whoa, this is what it is? Like, it's hard to have a role of that size and have no life. Like, and no one really at the time was sort of like a mentor to me or a source of like, here's how to create balance and like have a rich, full life and have your dream come true, but also be happy.
Yeah.
And so to me, it felt like I got to get the hell out of town and get as far away from, because I didn't know how to say no at the time either.
Right.
And it was always like some reading, some benefit, some workshop. And I just was like, I don't want to do this.
But I mean, you sort of, in my perception was that you did sort of like leave musical theater here on this coast and like came to LA and just kind of what it felt like sort of kickstarted a pop career. I mean, like, or
Pop.
a musical,
Sure.
Definitely a successful musical career. I mean, but I also know for you, like, first of all, you produce so much of your own stuff. I mean, I know you put a lot of like your own resources into creating that music. And I mean, was it something, I mean, I know you had a lot of mentors, and there's certainly I know a lot of people who are very, very famous in the music world who like really respect you and like love you so much. Who was like mentoring you through that, and did you have anyone sort of helping you out, or?
No, I think people would come and go very quickly. Like, you know, one of the first people that was sort of like the reason that I moved to LA was Brian McKnight. I was working with him a little bit and his manager and his label, and that was sort of like the excuse I needed to get out there. Mm-hmm. But they sort of came and went quite quickly, and no, I think that I ended up doing it myself, for better or for worse. And certainly now, all these years later, I'm grateful because I navigated my own sort of exploration as an artist and my own expression.
Right.
And I didn't have anyone breathing down my neck, and I don't owe people money, and I own all my own masters, and I just still see so much yuck in the music industry, and so many artists just like shackled and in debt forever trying to, you know, repay these advances. And I'm just so grateful that it always felt like a curse that I was doing it independently, but now I look back and I'm like, thank God.
Well, in the moment,
freedom.
It was hard. And I mean, I remember going to your O'Farrell concert. That concert blew me away. I mean, that was such an incredible evening of live music, and I know how much blood, sweat, and tears you put into it, and, you know, money. And I mean, every time I saw you, I was like, how is this, how are we not like, how is the whole world not just celebrating this? I mean, it's so incredible.
Thanks, pal.
And I mean, your songwriting is wonderful, obviously your vocals, but also there was just like a level of class to what you were doing that just very few people know how to do. The taste level was so high.
Thanks.
And I mean, it's why you have so many respected artists who I think truly just love what you do. I mean, because you have the skill, but also the taste level. And I mean, I was always frustrated that more people didn't know who you were, and like you weren't being celebrated, you know, in the mainstream as I feel like you should have been. But I mean, I know that when you put so much of yourself and your own resource into something, you're ultimately going to feel like, you know, it's worth it. But at the same time, like there's a price that you pay when you do that. I mean, what were those years like for you in LA when you were doing something that you wanted to do so deeply and were so good at, and yet you are always having to sort of self-motivate it too?
I think that I thought probably at the time it sucked because it was just scraping together whatever, like it was just making meals out of crumbs essentially. And I'm always voracious for more. And better and expansion, and, you know, so, but I look back on those times and I'm like, God, those are the best. Those weekly shows at Bar Vermont.
Yeah.
You know, those getting to sort of like become a member of the music community out there, the musicians. I learned so much from being friends with these people, and speaking of taste level and like musicianship and writing, and like, it was such a masterclass and a crash course. So like, if I had done my studying in musical theater and moved to New York and sort of like, you know, done the Broadway thing, it was like I went back and I did grad school in LA in just music and being around these people. And, you know, the people that you would hear play with me at those, you know, weekly shows are like the best musicians in the business. Mm-hmm. And I'm grateful that I know how to do all these things. How I know how to produce shows. I know how to, you know, get the band together. I know how to make an album. I'm so grateful that I know that. I know so many people who are like, can't self-start because they don't even know how to do it, or like waiting for someone else to do it, or, you know, at the mercy of, I'm grateful now, but I can guarantee you that girl was like wildly dissatisfied and frustrated and really thinking, and I'm sure I still do on some level, think that every next this is going to be the one that moves the needle. This is going to be the one that, like, you know, I'm waiting for like that slingshot moment. But every once in a while I get an opportunity to go, like, it hasn't been a slingshot. It has been fucking, like, not even brick, but like pebble by pebble building this, like, I don't even know what I'm building yet, but I'm still building, and it is beat by beat.
I mean, you know, you've done this incredible work of like taking over for different people, like in Wicked and then Waitress, which you were so incredible in. In fact, I don't know if you know this, but Sarah Bareilles called me because she knew we were friends. She goes, "Listen, your friend Shoshana, she's incredible, but is she like a nice person?" Because like I want to like.
Depends on the day.
I was like, well, no. I was like, she is not only one of the most talented people I've ever met in my entire life, but she is the kindest person, and she's the hardest worker. So I'm not saying I got you that part, but I definitely like was a reference.
Thank you. You know who got me that part is Gavin.
Oh, sweet Gavin.
Yeah.
I miss him every day. Every day.
His pictures are hanging in my dressing room.
Oh. My God.
Yeah, I'm sure you feel him all the time too.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
He's very present.
Yeah. Yeah.
Annoyingly so sometimes.
Annoyingly so. Oh my God, sweet Gavin. How did he? Because he and Sarah were very close. Yeah.
Yeah. He was in the show playing the doctor at the time, and we were FaceTiming, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing the show for a little bit," and he was like, "Wait, why have you never played Jenna?" And then it just wasn't a conversation until like I think it was like a month or two later maybe. Yeah, they must have been hard up. Like, no, I'm kidding. That they were like, it just was a straight up offer, and I was like, an offer? They don't want me to like get in the room and with you.
Because
sure?
they called me and I said, just offer to her. That's
you
what happened.
sealed the deal, babe. No, I don't know, whatever it was, and then like, you know, it ended up just being like such a beautiful experience.
God, you were so good in that. But it was also for me, like, I was like, okay, people are now seeing what you can do because you were given opportunity in a way that you had not before. I mean, I do think that it's such a changing point in your career, and I was so excited that you were back in New York and like you had this opportunity, and I think that, you know, it was such an exciting shift in your career.
Yeah, that show broke me open. Yeah.
I can tell. Also, you know, there's something about being an unwilling mother and having like that be part of the story.
Yeah.
But then what I find interesting is like now, you know, and since then, like, you know, with Lost Boys, you're playing a mother, and then also in the Alicia Keys musical, Hell's Kitchen, you were playing a mother.
And Bedwetter.
I mean, was there, because I remember when I first got Modern Family and I was like gonna be a dad, I was like, oh, am I already there? Am I already at the parent roles? Granted, it was like, you know, a dad of like a baby, so I was like, okay, at least it's a baby, like it's not, you know, a teenager, but like, am I already there? And I mean, it was definitely a moment where I was like, I had to sort of be like, okay, I have to be okay with this. I mean, now listen, in the Hell's Kitchen musical, you were playing, granted, a mother who became a mother at a young age,
Sure.
but, you know, the mother of basically Alicia Keys' character.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me about that.
I still struggle with it. I mean, being another 3 in a row after just playing someone's daughter.
Right. Billy Crystal's daughter, yeah.
It was really tough for me because I like you, was like, I'm now old enough to play a mom, and is this all that's left for women of my age? Am I always, because it feels like, you know, whether it's an audition or an offer, it feels like everything is mom stuff now, which like part of me is so honored because I'm not a mother in real life, and I know that I have a maternal energy, and I do love being able to sort of like, you know, I know that's a superpower to utilize in these situations, and I do fall so deeply in love with these children and sort of like make them my own. But it's a challenge because it means aging, and it's an ego thing, and I just also am like, is this all that's left for women of my age? We just resign to playing moms? There's more, like, I'm not done, and so part of me was like, I'm not doing Lost Boy. I'm not doing another mother role, and there was something that was louder than my head that made the decision. You know, my heart was tugging me towards working with Michael. My heart was tugging me towards working for 3 dudes we grew up with, Jimmy and Patrick and Marcus, and like my heart was pulling me towards this kid LJ, who's playing the star. You know, my son, the star of the show, and like the music, it just was like, there's something else that you don't logically know yet. You need to be in this room with these people.
You had something to say about it.
Well, I didn't know that yet, but I knew that, like, again, it was just something I couldn't explain. I just was like, everything in my body is like, this is a yes. While everything in my mind was like, this doesn't make sense as the next thing. But I'm glad that I listened to my body and my heart, because I have had such a beautiful experience these past 6 weeks. It's just, or 2 months, I guess now.
Did you see the film? I mean, yeah.
Only when I got the offer.
Yeah.
Because when I was younger, while I was the world's biggest Corey Haim fan, and did not miss a single film of his, I couldn't watch scary movies, and this was a scary movie.
Same. I was nervous to watch it. I've since seen it, but it's so much more than a vampire film. I mean,
Tell me, everybody has like a different. Tell me why you say that.
I mean, I think for me, it's a coming of age film.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what I would categorize it as, and I feel like the vampires, are it's like an allegory. Is that the right word? It's a metaphor.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. It's a metaphor for being an outsider and trying to fit in and
so
being
interesting.
different. I mean, I'm sure that these are themes that you're talking about in rehearsal.
No, and it's funny
Really?
because. Well, I'm not a vampire, so sorry to spoil it. So I haven't been privy to these conversations, if they've been had. But my stepbrother was saying that he went to Hebrew. The first time he saw the movie, he went to Hebrew school, and his Hebrew school teacher, who was gay in the early mid '90s, played them the movie to talk about being othered and feeling like he identified as a gay man with the vampires, and that's how society made him feel. And I was like, what? I didn't get that when I watched the movie, but it's so interesting.
Well, that's what's so brilliant about, like, I hate to use the word art in a pretentious way, and I don't mean to, but like.
But your legs are crossed and you're talking with your hands. So
like this. So we're just going to let that be what
I'm going to take it as pretentious. Art.
But that you can, for people who are feeling other, like they can look at something like that and identify with it, but it's almost like a secret, like no one else knows about it. And it's like the movie or the piece is speaking to you in a secret, but like you and I know what this is about.
That's right.
I adore you so much. I'm so grateful you did this. Do you want to talk more?
I kind of want them to have to cut us off.
Bum, 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 bum. Just music starts playing. This episode of Dinners on Me was recorded at Miriam's on Manhattan's Upper West Side. Next week on Dinners on Me, you might know him from The Killing. He's also on 2 amazing shows right now, For All Mankind on Apple TV Plus and Netflix's Detective Hole. It's Joel Kinnaman. We'll dive into acting in Swedish for the first time in over a decade, what it's like to age 40 years on screen, and why he's especially excited about what's next in his ever-evolving career.